Listen to me. Tonight is not for the faint-hearted. Tonight is not for the ones who want comfort more than they want change. Tonight is for the warriors, the ones who are done negotiating with the version of themselves that keeps losing the battle. You keep saying you're finished, but you keep entertaining the same habits, the same people, the same environments that broke you. Hear me. Your old life is not confused. You are. Your past knows exactly how to pull you back because you keep leaving the door cracked open. But tonight, we slam that door shut with force. Tonight, we cut the cord. Tonight, we stop playing tug-of-war with the version of you that refuses to grow. This is where truth gets loud. This is where excuses die. This is where transformation begins. Get locked in. Get your mind right. Get your spirit ready. Because this right here is the world premiere word on the streets.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Xtradonaire Moton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to be back in your living room, wherever you might be. We're happy to be a part of your life today. And today, friends, we have another exciting show for you. But before we dive into the show, we like to introduce ourselves, friends. You all know this man. He brings reasons to chaos. And you can't ignore this guy. This guy worked in the corporate world, just got off the interstate, parked in, came in and said, hey, brothers, it's time to get it. And look, folks, we're not going to delay anything. I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig.
Good evening, everyone.
And if y'all don't know the amazing Keith Fletcher, if you don't know, this brother is live on Facebook 2 and 3 times a week. He have his own YouTube channel called The Blind Truth. In fact, he just dropped a nugget on that channel y'all need to go check out. It's called Escaping the Financial Danger Zone. My goodness, with a title like that, you can't go wrong. Y'all need to go over there and get some of that food and find out what he's talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher.
How you doing?
And I'm blessed and fortunate to be on this platform with two giants. I am Xtradonaire, and I also have a YouTube channel. It's called Personal Development for the Soul. If your soul is dry, empty, you don't know what in the world going on, what to do with it, check me out. Personal Development for the Soul. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy and excited to be here with you all, and we can't wait to get it on tonight. Tonight, friends, if y'all was here last week, if you missed it, we're on YouTube. Go back, check us out. Go back and subscribe. Go back and leave a comment. But tonight we're gonna chop it up on stop negotiating with your old life. Man, everybody talk about Vincent. Everybody are talking about they want to move forward. They want to do this. They want to do that. But they so stuck entertaining and embracing that old lifestyle. Man, what we gonna do? You can't move forward if you still living in the past. Talk to me, Vincent.
Oh man, you put me out there first. Okay. All right, all right.
Come on, brother.
First of all, glad to be here. Uh, Glad to be joining tonight. Thank you, Selena and Ladiana, for both joining tonight. Our faithful followers.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good one. For me, man, it's just, and again, I'm a quote guy, right? So I'll go back to uh, some of the quotes that are like at the top of my mind. We lie to ourselves more than we lie to anybody else. Uh,
Oh man, that's a good one.
Old habits are hard to break, uh, but not impossible. I think for me and my wife, and I'll just give a little quick peek into our house. We're going on our fifth year anniversary next month. So there were a lot of things that we had to discuss early on.
5th year anniversary, friends.
Thank you. There was a lot of stuff that we had to talk about going early on as far as triggers and things of that nature, right? Because the one thing I told her, I was like, hey, don't walk away when we're having an argument or like a heated debate or heated discussion because of the abandonment issues that I've had to overcome from not having my father there or not being a part of my life, right? Not to throw him up under the bus. This isn't about that. Uh, I was able to get through that. But the thing that I've told her is don't walk away because it sets a trigger for me, right? So for her, it was like sometimes she would get in her car, right? For her, it's just getting out of the house and doing whatever. When you're single for 10 or 11 years, you kind of go back to those old habits. But when you're joining and now you're committed to someone and y'all have a bond together, those things have to be discussed because, like she said, hey, the old Lucy would have just done this. The old Vince would have done this, right? So again, with the clear communication of speaking those triggers out, what upsets you, what upsets me, we were able to just kind of understand how not to go back to the old us because it's so easy to go back to the old habits because we're comfortable with those, right?
That's right.
Even when they were bad habits, some things are just easier to do. I'll give another one. My first wife, before we were married, we vowed 30 days not to have sex. So for me, it was like she would walk around reading the Bible, and I'm a man. I'm trying to get some. I'm not trying to hear you read the word at that time, right? Like la 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 la. Like I don't want to hear it. But you ever notice on our anniversary night, we got married. Man, when I tell you we went to sleep, nothing happened because we were so tired because we went to work, up to the church, had a little quiet ceremony at the office. That was it. School the next day for the kids, right? So we didn't really have a honeymoon. So it was more so like, okay, this is odd for us because now we're able to have sex, but we didn't feel like it because we're tired and it was like, does this feel right? Right. And again, I could be going down that rabbit hole, man, but it's easier to start going back towards the old habits. And I'll just leave that and let Keith.
Man, before Keith come in, man,
What?
Community, I just want you all to know, y'all just check out my brother's conversation. Just check out our conversation. I mean, we that is open as you can possibly get. And that brother is a very private brother.
Private.
And he's risking all of that to feed you. Go ahead on, brother Fletcher. Sorry about that.
No,
I
no,
just
no.
want
You
to
telling the truth. He just got. I told you we naked on him, man. We just laying it all out just like that on here. It's not that easy to do. It's not that easy to do, man, because you never know. But I commend Vince because I know you're a private person, so we appreciate you. And I know the community appreciate you. You know, so y'all like what you said, man. Please hit the like button, subscribe.
oh,
But overcome my man. I'm telling you, man. With me, I needed some help. I needed counseling. I needed God. I needed all that, man. I remember, of course, everybody know me and Selena was married together, and when we finally broke up, we were together 15 years. And I used to say we really weren't married but 7, but we was together 15 years, going back and forth. And one of my cousins asked me, man, how did you get away? How did you finally end it? And my in the true story, and I said, man, God, I couldn't do it, man. I'm like, because like you said, you become comfortable, even with the drama, even with all the stuff, you comfortable with that. It
say
becomes
that.
normal. It
Yeah.
normalizes, the things when you have it, and then it's toxic to everybody else, but to you, it's normal. To you, it's like working that muscle. You working that muscle, it gets sore, it hurt. And then once it's smooth out, you back to, what I'm saying, back to that. So it was constantly up and down, but it was going to somebody else or leaving. It was easier to stay than to leave. It was hard to leave that situation because so many people was involved too. So man, going back to them old ways, and the crazy thing about it, we would go back, and we had other things that was causing us to be under. So back then, man, being young like that, man, it was a lot of up and down, man. And I'm just saying I can't speak for her on that, but me, it was a battle. And things that I didn't want to do that I at the times that I felt I could control, I couldn't. I remember sometimes I would do some things and I was like, I don't even know why I did it. I didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm frustrated. I'm doing something, and I know this is gonna hurt her. You know what I'm saying? I know this is gonna cause major problems in our thing. But by ways of what I was having to talk with my wife now. A lot of adultery was done in my marriage, my first marriage, and also so she asked me, why did you do those things? And I told her, I said, well, when I came up, we didn't talk about our woman, our girlfriend, our wife. We talked about the women on the side. I always heard that with other men. So I heard that growing up, and I was wrong that all the time. So that became normalized to me. I'm not saying it was right, but it was easy to do it then. You know what I'm saying? So those things pulled me back and forth with that. You know what I'm saying? And I like I said, those things was hard to break those things, even though that I know a lot of times I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? The environment too. You get yourself with your partners. I'm in the military, and all the guys, we young guys. And I'm sorry, I was discussing that before. I was 19 years old, married with a child in the military, away from my family. She never left. She never been out of Louisiana. I've been around, but we both were sent away in Hawaii, away from family and everything. But them old ways, them old habits was still there. You know what I'm saying? I think them the only things you can hold on to, trying to be comfortable in something new, a new place, a new environment. But all you had was them old ways. All you had was the ways that you was taught, the things that you knew, and you tried to hold on to them. And with me, man, it was a lot of counseling, a lot of good people that would help us.
Yeah. And you know what, Fletcher? Even when you get away, and I'm talking to everybody out there because man, I think we are all kind of tangled up in this web. If not now, at some point in our life. The thing is, Fletcher say you want to get away. Even when you go to a new place, you start a new life.
Yep.
But those old deep man, them old thing, they follow
They
you.
follow you. They follow you.
6 months
Yeah, they follow.
later, 6 months later, you in that same web
Yep.
you thought you had left behind.
Yep.
You know?
And then you know what? Even when it seemed like I'm just saying with me, I can't speak. Even when you get away from those things, it's like it'll tap you on your back, like you say, "Hey, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I don't forget about me. You ain't conquered me yet. You ain't got
Right.
over me yet. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the old ways, man, you got to really, you know what I'm saying. We get you a deeper, but I'm just saying when you in it, you in that deep end, man, it's hard. If you don't have no training, that's what you know. That's what you be real. Your environment now you be around is hard because you don't think nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You don't
That's
think
right.
it's not. And most of the people that you around you are doing the same thing. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So you don't think anything wrong with those ways.
And here's what we're saying. You become a prisoner of your past environment.
Yeah.
You become a prisoner and you don't even know you are in that prison.
Mm.
Even when you got better information, you see, knowing knowing the right way, knowing information is part of the deal, but it's not the whole deal. It doesn't get you over the goalpost just because you know. It's a lot of things I know what to do and what not to do. It doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. And that's where we are. This is why world premiere Word on the Street is so important, friends, because we're just talking straight talk to you. So many times we buy books on how to improve in this, how to improve in that. We but those books can't do what you need to do. And we'll do it. We get on the grind and we do it for a month. We do it for but you see, it's not a season. It is a lifestyle. It's a commitment. It's a consistency. And that is the challenge. And we say it all the time when we communicate backstage, when we're talking among ourselves. When you really get down to the truth of the matter, friends, let's be real. Making some real changes in your life is not, it's a challenge every day. It's a challenge every day because we have been conditioned one way and we're trying to change that way we were into something new. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be the first one to raise my hand in the classroom and tell you that's a road. No wonder they call it the road less traveled. And many people choose not to travel it because it's so comfortable to stay on that same old road. Talk to me, somebody.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when we talking about the fitness journey, right? There's no growth in comfort. I'll repeat that. There's no growth in comfort. You have to go through a little adversity in order to overcome. But I think some people just don't want to put up the fight. Man, I was sitting up here writing whenever y'all were talking. I don't know if y'all can see that. I wrote all over this. One thing I'll put and say is I could be my biggest problem or I could be my biggest adversary.
Adversary, absolutely.
Like if you think about that, again, do you realize that you don't have to teach a child how to lie because we already are born into a world of sin? We got to teach people how to tell the truth at an early age because it's just a natural thing, right? Because of the world that we're born into. Then I wrote down, I said, doing the right thing doesn't have to be hard. With practice, it can become easy. Uh, I said, it's easy to do the wrong thing, but it isn't always the best thing. I heard what Keith was talking about whenever he was out there in his first marriage and things of that nature, and things weren't discussed in the black community. Man, it's two things you don't. It's several things you don't talk about. Men don't like to go to the doctor. Number one, first of all, in our community, because we either afraid of the bad news or either we afraid of that 40-year-old physical that we have to get right uh, with the colon test and all that stuff, right? So it's those things. It's easy to slip back into those bad habits because it's the most comfortable for us. But if you practice the right thing enough times, like I'll give you another peek. When me and my first wife were going through a divorce, we were doing counseling, and we would have sessions together, and then we would have separate sessions separate. Like we step out, let the other one talk to the counselor, then I would talk, and then she would bring us together. She was like, Vincent has a compulsive disorder of he means to do and say the right things, but it doesn't always come out the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is me also being a past perfectionist. I will put pressure on the family because I wanted things my way, my way, my way. And so what the counselor said is you need to walk out the house one day, even though you see the remote control out of place, you need to leave it out of place. And I'm like, why is that? She said, you got to break the cycle of always wanting to be in control and wanting things a certain way. So I would walk out of the house and I'm so accustomed to seeing like straightening things up. Like I'm the type, if you move a book in my house, I'm going to know it's moved because I know where everything is at. It's so easy to gravitate towards those old ways, but I had to get uncomfortable and I had to walk out of the house many days when stuff wasn't the way I wanted it, right? But if I didn't put forth the effort, I would never change, right? Like I can't change me. I can and I can't change me. God has to change me, but I still got to put the work in. So going back to that old life is I made it a habit to do something different every day because I wanted to break the spirit of trying to be perfect. There is no perfection, right? But what I did do is one day I would wake up on the other side of the bed or I'd brush my teeth with my left hand. I wanted to do something different because I wanted to break the cycle of just always doing the same thing over and over and over, or else I can gravitate back to those old ways. Then I also wrote, the animal you feed the most continues to live the longest. So if we feed that animal of the old ways, then how do we expect to get something new? Y'all ever heard the phrase is, how do you expect to go towards your future when you keep looking back at the rear view?
Right.
Like that's habit forming too, right? So I'll just cut it there because I know we're gonna have a lot of onions to peel back for this.
Yeah. 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 That's right. Go
Well,
ahead on, Fletcher.
yeah, I'm just going. I'm not what Vince was saying about his about
Here
his.
it comes. Here it comes.
Let me say this, Vince. I've been to Vince's house. Vince's son and my son are best friends, and I ain't never seen nobody clean as like he said. He do have a problem. I don't know if he broke that problem, but we used to laugh all the time. You know, we'd go to Vince's house, and my son would stay over there. And you say, man, Daddy. I said, well, Luke got to clean up. And I would go to Vince's house, and I'm looking at his house. I'm like, what is he cleaning up? You know, ain't nothing in here need to be clean. Ain't nothing. And the Vince is like extremely hot. I'm talking about, man, ain't nothing out of place, nothing. And that Luke Kyle said, Dad, I gotta leave. You know, we gotta leave because Luke gotta clean his room up. So I go look at Luke's room, and Luke's room is immaculate. Compared, I'm like, if you come to my house is a junkyard compared to Vince's house. I'm serious, but he really is serious about that, man. I don't know if he's broken, but man, but I was admired about that, man. I wish I could have that. Now I ain't gonna lie, I wish I would have my home like that. But Vince he is serious about those things like that. But anyway, I want to make my point about habits being changed. You know, I was in my childhood, I thought a lot, and I went from Louisiana, and then I moved to Texas with my dad. The same person that came from Louisiana went to Texas, I did the same thing. I fought a lot in Texas. I went from Texas back to Louisiana, same thing, fighting. I went to college. In college, same thing, fighting. I joined the military. Selena tell you, I'm in Fort Polk, Louisiana. I'm fighting. I go from Fort Polk to Hawaii. Now Hawaii, beautiful state of Hawaii. I'm fighting. I'm talking. I mean, one time we just got to the duty station and we went out to the club that night, and the guy was looking at her. Man, I'm talking about it was like a whole bunch of guys, and I'm there by myself, don't know nobody. And me and Selena, I think I had a cast or something on my arm. The dude was saying something to Selena, and I was like about to fight about 5 or 6 dudes in the club. You know what I'm saying? And I come back out. My partner was there, and we went back in there. I'm talking about I'm fighting there. I go to El Paso, Texas. I'm fighting there. I'm in the military. Everywhere I went, I brought that person with me. I remember a guy told me, he said, Fletcher, if you get out the army, man, you're gonna be in prison, bro. You're gonna be in jail. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be nowhere. I'm okay. But the point I'm saying is, I didn't think nothing was wrong with me. That was normal to me. And the type of people the people I put around me was the same type of people. The people I put around me fought, got in trouble, drank, did all the same things. So it was normal to me. And I lived like that for a long time. Like when Xtradonaire told the guy, you don't have to wear that mask all the time. I was 24/7 like that until I met my wife now. And I remember me and my wife was out one time. And I used to walk around with my fist, walk around the bottle. She grabbed my hand. She said, why do you have your fist balled up all the time? I said, maybe I stay ready. She said, what you staying ready for? I say, for whatever. You know what I'm saying? She like, and she grabbed my hand and she opened my hand. She said, you don't have to be ready. Not with me. You don't have to be ready with me. And I'm saying it just like that, saying that to me made me realize that, but it took me years to be like that. Like I'm hot-headed, like I'm talking about grown man, but I didn't think anything was wrong. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I look back at it now, I'm 58 years old. That person stopped me from having so much. It stopped me from meeting so many, networking with so many things. So it was hard for me. Going to counseling. I went to counseling. I went to all these things, man, but it was hard, that environment. And I'm telling you, even when I would do it, I would put myself around the same type of people. Till one time I met this guy and his wife. And I talk about him all the time. His name was Errol. He's from Jamaica. And his wife they came to we was in El Paso. They came to a beach party. We having a party at my wife's job. And his wife, man, I'm to my very, very beautiful woman. Shape, had a two-piece bathing suit on. And I had my partners with him. And her husband came with her. And all my partners were like, man, I'm fuming over. He had no problem. He was sitting there playing volleyball. He wasn't worrying about his wife. And I'm just watching him. Now, my partner watching his wife, but I'm watching him. And I'm like, man, I want to be like him. I don't have to work. Man, that dude ain't got nothing on his mind. He just relaxed. He having fun. He ain't, man, I say, dude, I want to be like that dude. Man, I'm friends to this day. I had to have him around me. I have him around me, and I would bring him, like if I had a cookout, I would tell him to come early so I could be around him and talk to him. But when my other friends come, I would tell me, hey, man, you got to leave. The other guys coming over. But I wanted to be like that guy. I wanted to be relaxed. I wanted to lay back and be chill like him. But that person that I was, man, it was hard for me to break them old habits. It's hard for me to see myself as being a different thing. So just breaking it, you know what I'm saying? It took me years for me to overcome those old habits. And they still there. They still come. And I got a better control over them, but they still there waiting to be tapping on me. And I got to, you know what I'm saying, hold them back. You know what I'm saying? So that with me, I know the old habit, and they can stop you. They can block you from a lot.
Hey, I like what you shared right there, man. That was real, as you say, transparency right there. As I was writing, I was laughing because Keith was kind of like what I was writing about was like him. Like Keith had like, do you realize what he just said? He said, I needed that guy to come over early before the party started so he can get in that mindset. Like he's the one that says, get your mind right, right? He's coined that phrase,
Right.
but he was honest and humble with himself. I wrote down, we have to have an honest conversation with ourselves about where we are, what we want to change, and forgive ourselves in the process. A lot of times we don't forgive ourselves during this process of trying to go through this change. And that's one of the reasons why we keep going back to the old self, because we haven't forgiven ourselves for the old self in order to start with the new journey on life.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
There, what you just said, Vince, that was with me later on in my life, I had to forgive myself. I had that people, I'm gonna tell you a lot of things after that. People, even in your closest friends and family, they remind you of that self. You know what I'm saying? They remind you of who you were. You know, even when you try to change, like, man, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It'll bring that person back. So again, I had to forgive myself. And like you said, I had to let that go. I had to become something different. You know what I'm saying? I had to believe that I could be something different. You know what I'm saying? That I don't have to wear that Xtradonaire, that mask all the time, you know? And I started putting myself in different environments, put myself around other people, man. Even when I would be tested, you know what I'm saying? I failed sometimes, but when I failed, you know what I'm saying? When I went I'm telling you, man, I would be down like, damn, how did I, because I realized I was weak when I blew my top. I thought back then I said, oh, I'm being strong. But I remember somebody told me, I forgot he said it. He said, all you doing is you weak, man, because they controlling you. You ain't in control when you lose. Like you think you in control, but the other person in control. And I used to hold on to that. So when I did do that, I gave somebody control over me again. So it took me time to realize that, and time of counseling, reading books, working on my habits. Like you said, doing different habits, doing different things, challenging myself to different ways, different things.
Ladies
Yeah,
and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we want to give you all an opportunity. We want to give you all an opportunity right now to take a moment and subscribe to the world premiere Word on the Streets. And also leave us a comment. Let us know if you enjoy our show, what topics you would like to see us cover. We would just love to hear from you. As we continue to talk about this subject, friends, so much interesting things have been said, and we're wondering, what part of you do you recognize? Have you seen yourself? And also, friend, we like to throw out a little caveat, a little hook out there, that something that generally happen when you are working on yourself, you're making changes with yourself. Every now and then, the universe would give a wink and see people will show up in your life a different personality than the personality of your past that kind of give you a hunch that you're moving in another direction, in a new direction. All of a sudden, you start meeting new personalities, different from the old personalities. That's a clue, friend, that you're moving towards something and you're leaving away from something. Go ahead on, Vincent. I know you was getting ready to say something.
yeah, I was going to piggyback off what Keith said, but I was going to go a little bit different way with it. Keith says sometimes he has to kind of put himself around certain people in order for him to get like a certain amount of energy. Let's be real, there's two coins to that too. Sometimes we have to distance ourselves from certain people because they constantly continue to bring back the old. And ones that do that the most is no pun intended, is family and friends, right? So sometimes you have to separate yourself. I'm not saying just leave them alone completely, but your energy is important, right? Your journey is your journey. Your journey is not them, and it's not meant for everyone to go with you on certain journeys. Sometimes we got to isolate ourselves. Sometimes we got to go back, as me and Keith say, back from the gym. We got to go back into the lab and we got to start fresh and kind of figure out what didn't work right. From there, as a coach and as a person, you make adjustments. And once you're honest with yourself, you can allow yourself to make those adjustments. But I was just writing down, said family and some close continue to see the old us and constantly bring it up. And it's kind of hard to continue to move forward when people continue to throw it in your face about what you used to do, right? And you have to be mindful of that. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your space, right? You have to protect your way of thinking. What you see the most and are around the most, sometimes you start to become the most. So you got to separate yourself in a little bit in order to get yourself right, or as Keith says, you got to get your mind right and then come back. Let them see the new you. It may take them a while for them to see that new you. But again, I don't need a constant reminder of who I used to be. That's already in my head. I don't need to replay it over and over and over and over. I do that enough. The thing that I have to stop doing is I have to stop replaying that in my head, and I got to reboot, kind of like the laptop. I got to restart. I got to reboot. I have to take it in. I have to get brand new hard drive, right? A computer from 1960 is not going to be able to keep up with the computers of today.
Yeah.
So you got to continue to refresh and reboot and start updating. And as y'all gentlemen told me about Chat GPT, I was against it. But now look who's using it, right? Because I like to think on my own. But again, I still pick and choose my spots, but I have to be willing to learn and evolve in order for me to get to the next phase of my life.
Yeah.
And
And
I go ahead on, man.
you go ahead, go Extradonaire.
What I just wanted to tie a loop on what Vincent said. I really, really think this is necessary, friends. What we're saying collectively is for you to stop being your worst enemy. Stop, get out the way and allow new growth to grow inside you and massage that new growth. Just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean you should work on it. It's like exercise. That muscle gonna hurt because you working on in a part of your life, a part of your body that you usually don't work on. You're doing some things you usually don't do. And until that body get used to that, it's gonna hurt a tad bit. It's gonna be uncomfortable. But if you keep doing that repeatedly over and over again, the soreness will leave. And I think somebody out there need to hear that. Also, before you speak, Fletcher, we want to say thank you to Optimistic being in the house. And of course, Selena and Ladiana is always there to
Right.
support us. Thank
Yep.
y'all so much for showing up and supporting us. Fletcher, go right ahead, brother.
Like Vince said, the perfect thing he said is being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I start seeing the person that I was holding me back from becoming to what I wanted. But I didn't know how to get it. You know what I'm saying? I tell people I wasn't gonna read no book. So what I used to do, I would see other people and mimic them. I would learn from even Vince. When I met Vince, like I say, Vince was doing coaching. He was doing all these things with the youth, and I'm just sitting there. Uh, he said, "Keep on, become coach." Man, I ain't come to coach nobody, kid. You know how I talk, man. You know I have to curse one of them kids all the time. Vince said, "No, you can't be cursing, kid." I said, "Man," so I said, I was so uncomfortable, but I would did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm watching him. I had to be honest with myself. I need to be something different. I would love to be that, So I had to control myself. I had to put myself in an uncomfortable position. You know what I'm saying? Even like working with different people, man. And when I started opening up, man, I learned so much, man. So many different things that I learned that I didn't know. But
Yeah,
it started off with me being honest. It started
yeah,
off with me being saying, I don't know everything out that way ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to bring that way with me. Sometimes it was good because I was in some situations, I was in some environments that person had to be there, but I'm not in them environments anymore. So that person don't have to be there no more. And that person that I was doesn't fit in this environment. It doesn't fit in this environment. Something's gonna happen. It's gonna be either me or the environment. The environment gonna win. The person I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna be somewhere that I don't want to be. So I got to change. You know what I'm saying? So that's what with me. I had to change. When I start changing, man, my life started changing. I'm serious. I start elevating. Like you said, I start elevating and I start seeing the growth. So, but I want to tell people this point right here. I remember this is a couple years ago when I'm like fully changed. The Most High got me doing all these things. He talking to me. I'm doing my habits. I'm working on my principles. And I think I was talking to some family and friends, and they started bringing about the old past. They started talking about me and what I did and all that. After that, I went home. The way I was already home. I was sitting down and I'm in my little weight room, and I'm hot. I'm not gonna lie. My feelings hurt. And the Most High say, it was like a little chuckle. What you mad about? I said, man, I done changed. These people still talking about what I used to do. I don't know what past that.
Yep.
Again, he say, did you do those things?
Yep.
Yeah, but man, he said, well, that means you got a lot of work to do still. That means you have some work to do. You did those things, so you still got work to do with yourself and so what they see, hear, and touch, change that. Work on that. Keep working. And that's it. You got to keep working. So everybody's not going to be, people going to remember the past, but it's up to you to keep on moving forward. You to keep on changing. You to keep working on yourself. And I'm telling you, eventually, they're going to come and say, all that's going to be in the past. You know what I'm saying? All that's going to be different. And you just say, you know what? That was me, but that ain't me anymore. That's it. What I would say for me.
That's it. I like that. I like that. I like that.
folks, it's about midway right now, and we like to take a small break, but don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We promise you, you don't want to miss part two. And I don't know if we're going to be as so fortunate to have Vincent come back and be with us for the second half. In any case, everybody out there, we know how much you all appreciate hearing his voice, his viewpoints on these subject matter. But for right now, before we go to the break, take a moment. and hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Take a moment and hit like. Take a moment and leave us a
And
comment.
please tell a friend. Take a moment to tell a friend.
Yeah. Tell a friend and tell a friend. That's it.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it. Because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere word on the streets.
Listen to me. Some of you are fighting battles you should have won years ago. Not because you're weak, but because you keep giving yesterday too much authority. You keep letting old habits, old emotions, old identities sit in the driver's seat of a life you say you want to change. You're not slipping because you're incapable. You're slipping because you're still loyal to the version of you that was built in survival. Hear me. You cannot rise while protecting what broke you. You cannot step into purpose while entertaining patterns that were designed to keep you small. You cannot walk into tomorrow while dragging the weight of who you used to be. Some of you are exhausted because you're trying to build a new future with the same mindset that created your past. You're trying to elevate with the same routines that kept you stuck. You're trying to grow while feeding the very environment that starves your potential. But this moment right here, this breath, this heartbeat, this second is your interruption. This is where you stop rehearsing the pain and start rewriting the pattern. This is where you stop negotiating with your limitations and start confronting your possibilities. You don't need a new year. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need permission. You need a decision. Because when this episode ends, life keeps moving. And tomorrow is coming whether you're ready or not. So face it with intention. Face it with clarity. Face it with the version of you that refuses to go backward. Tonight, you recognize the pattern. Tomorrow, you break it.
All right, family, keep those comments coming as we get ready to get locked back into part 2 of Stop Negotiating with Your Old Life. Why people keep slipping back into patterns they swore they were done with.
Make a decision, be intentional, have clarity, and refuse the past, and then be prepared to break free from your past and move forward. We're fortunate to have Vincent add some meat on that bone.
Y'all got me for 7 minutes. So the meat I'm about to add on the bone is going to come from Optimistic Remo. She's on fire in this chat. Let me read a couple of her comments.
Yeah.
She says, separation is good. Often being around the familiar only allows you to be noticed, not seen. And in the familiar, it's, quote, people and things, etc. Then I said, then she came back and she says, I've been coached by life, but now I'm aligned with God's way. Had to get out of my own way.
Mhm.
I'm aligned with God's way. Had to get out of my own way. That right there is a release. Could be breaking a generational curse. Could just be anything, right? She wants that change and she has it. Then I said, that's change right there. I said, getting out of your own way, more of him, less of you. When we allow him to get more territory and when we can get out of our own way, because I'll be honest, and I'm not trying to get churchy, right? But we like to play God. We like to play God with our own life at times, right? So, and again, part of that is being prideful, not wanting to let people in. Like you're talking about, I'm an introvert, and Keith knows me. I don't really like to let people in, but again, this isn't about me. This is about putting something out there in the atmosphere that's going to help other people out, right? More of him, less of me. I got to get out of my own way because I feel like the gems that we're dropping is going to help somebody, whether it's the people on this in the chat, people that's tuned in, people that may see it on like the YouTube at like a later time, we're giving life lessons on what we've gone through. We're not getting paid for this, right? It's just this is something that we feel in our spirit that we want to help other people out. There are lots of self-help books, but the best thing that we can do is be transparent and let people know and give them a piece of ourselves so that they can get healed.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what me, man. I just want, like I said, when I lay it out, man, let you know that you can change. I know a lot of people, like I said, I've traveled around. I've been all kind of places. You know what I'm saying? And I've met all kind of people. And the people that I've met know the old Keith more than they know the new Keith. You know what I'm saying? So when I meet those people, even in the violence, I mean, one time I went back home and all was on the corner, and I stopped by, got out the car, and I started talking. We started bringing up the past, and they started talking about how we used to fight and do all things. And they said, man, it was some good times. And I said, no. I said, no, it wasn't no good time. They're like, man, Keith, you taught us this and taught us that. I said, no, I should have been teaching y'all how to get in a football league. Should have been teaching y'all how to coach or play something. I should have been doing something better than teaching you how to go out there fighting, acting a fool, drinking, and running women. I should have been teaching you that. I don't get no pride in that, man. Look at y'all now. Look where y'all at. You speaking about me. I wasn't no leader, man. I did you wrong. I didn't do you right. I didn't do you no justice. I don't want my name to be said, known for that. I told my son, he came to visit me. This was like big. So we was at home, and I was at my mama's house. I told my oldest son, I said, go walk down I want you to walk all the way down the street. He said, Dad, why? I said, I just want you to go walk down there, all the way to the end and come back. I want you to tell me what you say, what happened. So he did it. He came back. He said, Dad, everybody was like, man, I know who your daddy is. Boy, you look just like your daddy. Boy, your daddy used to fight all the time. Your daddy used to do this. Your daddy used to do this. And all the stuff was negative. All the stuff was negative. I'm sitting my son. He say, dang, Daddy, man, what was you doing? I say, nothing. You see what I represent? You look just like me. But you don't have to be like me. You're going to have to be better than me. That's why I sit you down there. Ain't nothing good when on those streets you just walked on. I ain't did nothing good. And how you think that make me feel, son? But you're going to do better than me. You see that? That ain't nothing good for you to say about me. That I made it through all that mess. Nothing good from that. That's what.
But I will say this, Keith. There is a certain level, and you kind of know it like I do. There's a certain level of street cred, right? So again, there's a certain level of a passage of right of way that your oldest is now. If he goes in that neighborhood, like I want you to think about what you just said, and I want everybody on here to listen. What Keith just said was very honorable. But at the same time, there's a rite of passage, right? There's a protection now on your oldest because if he goes back in that neighborhood, A, he looks like you, but B, he's going to be protected. So try not to, this is why I say we got to forgive ourselves in a sense. Don't beat yourself up on what you went through because what you went through is what got you here, right? So you got to celebrate that and look at how you've evolved. Yes, it was some tough time. We've all done stuff that we're not proud of, right? But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if your oldest go down that street and if something pop off, they got his back.
Nah, no, let me say this to you. I know what you said. Let me say this to you. I'll tell this story. I went home 3 years ago, and me and my wife would come, and I had my wife say, "Why you bringing your gun?" I said, "Baby, just chill out. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that." Now I shouldn't have said it out loud, but why you bringing that? I get out the car, everybody hanging out, street packed. I get out, everybody see me. Man, what's up, Keith? What's up? I'm me. I'm Keith Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? I get out, they dapping me up. What's up? Young man come up to me. Man, you remember me? I say, hey, you ain't important to remember. I'm a person to remember. You need to remember me. You know what I'm saying? I say that, joking, laughing. The dude said, there you go, man, with all that. I remember you in the past, what you did to me and all that. And he brought it up quick. Like, I ain't that dude no more, man. I'm a grown man. So I looked at him. I walked off. I went in my car. I came back out. I said, hey, y'all, listen to me. Everybody Y'all know I don't see too good. Y'all might want to move to the right, way over to the right. Because when I let this go, it ain't gonna be something nice, you know. Something not nice. I mean, y'all might see, but while you said what I'm saying, Vince, I done did some things out there that people remember. You know what I'm saying? And them things that I did, they see my son.
Yeah.
So they can cause them to say, you know what, forget the father. I'm gonna get up. And they might not even touch him. Let me show you something. They can say, hey, me and your dad was cool. Come on, come hang with us. You good people. Then put him in a situation that he ain't ready to be put in. You see what I'm saying? I don't want him nowhere around that. I don't want him nowhere around that because when I was around that, I had to be looking with a swivel. You know, like that time that car came in, you start looking at kids was like, stop looking at. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want them. I don't even want them because he not going to be able to recognize what I'm gonna recognize. You know. So when I've told him that, I say, no, I don't want you around none of that. I don't want you around. I don't want you to be able to realize some of that because you don't need to be around that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I survived it. I used to say it all the time. I wish some of the stuff I didn't go through. I don't want to put that because I know a lot of people when I start being around other people that I got in the military, they didn't go through that. They weren't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember this one guy told me, and I'm thinking I'm raised wrong. This one guy told me, but we was in the military, he was talking. He said, Fletcher, they don't know about no rough life. I said, yeah, you know. He said, yeah, man, they don't know nothing about no, in the refrigerator, you ain't got no milk. You had to put some water in the milk and the electric cut off. And I said, wait a minute. I ain't never lived like that. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I ain't never lived like that, brother. I always had food and stuff like that. But I'm saying, some people live some type of way. So that environment, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to be built like that. So you know what I'm saying? That's so I know what you're saying, what you mean, like saying stuff like that, but I don't want him to like now. I see my son now. You know, the things I did, I see my kids now, and I'm looking at them like, and I'm amazed. Like, I'm this is my pat on the back and my beat on the chest. Like, they're not doing none of those things I was. You know, I had somebody pregnant at 19. You know what I'm saying? I tell my son at 21 I was married. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take care of family. You know, I was doing some things that I should have been a kid. I should have been in college. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, and I was making mistakes that I supposed to be making because no one showed me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody guided me. And so the mistakes that I made hurt me because I felt like I was failing all the time. And so when you failing all the time, you start putting yourself around other people in your same position as failing. And y'all get together and y'all angry. Y'all got a poor mindset. And when I see these young people, they upset and they put themselves around these people that's upset. And they got them old habits and they come together. It's easy to be around people like that than go be around something different. And I see why you'll find yourself in a situation. You know what I'm saying? You'll find yourself in environments or in a situation that you're like, man, I don't belong here. You know, because a lot of guys that I was wrong, I could tell. I used to tell them, man, why you wrong this? You don't even supposed to be here. And they be like, let me say what I'm telling somebody else. They don't supposed to be here. But guess what somebody telling me? Man, Keith, you don't supposed to be here. Why you here? You see what I'm saying? Why you here? And I'm like, what you mean why I'm here, man? What you got? And I'm getting offended, but he was right. I look back at it now. I wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, to get people, like, we get in our ways and get our habits, and we think because our environment, but you change. Like I said, when I went all the way to Hawaii, away from I should have changed. Something should have clicked in me and said, man, man, think about that. I'm in a beautiful Hawaii, the beaches, all these great things, and I'm bringing the same old me in that nice, beautiful environment. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't have nobody to say, hey, my dad or somebody say, man, let that go. Enjoy yourself. Take that mask off. Let's throw that say, and enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? Be different, you know?
And you know what it is, word on the street community. We become a victim of our environment. And for many Black Americans, we have grown fast over the past 20 years, just like American as a whole. America have transformed. We've learned so much, especially with the age of the internet and now AI. But we have grown leaps and bounds from how men was thought they should be, especially in the Black neighborhood. So we realize now that some of the things we went through, and back in the old days, back in the day, friends, if you all don't know where I'm coming from, I'm gonna try to break it down quickly. Back in the old days, you were left on your own to try to put it together. They didn't give you it wasn't all that communication like we do now. It wasn't a conversation. You basically had to figure it out. You saw them before you. It looked good. They made it look inviting. They made it look like that's what's up, and you wanted to imitate that what was up, only to find out it was a whole lot more than what that cover looked like. And but just to take a little pressure too off my brother Fletcher there,
I ain't taking no pressure. It's the truth. Go ahead. You ain't no pressure. Good. Go ahead.
he didn't create that identity of himself totally by himself. The environment I watched his environment he came up from, and it was hard knock school. He had a couple of uncles that he learned about it.
Yeah.
He learned about it. Absolutely. And so, in a nutshell, what I'm saying to the folks out there, at the end of the day, just like the man said, we're gonna have to look in the mirror, make a decision, be intentional. That's a big word, friends. We have to learn to be intentional, Vincent. Be intentional about making a choice. Okay, I know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. Optimist in the chat room saying some wonderful things. Be intentional, and we have to fight and refuse that old person that keep trying to pull us back down. Who we used to be, where we used to be, because let's face it, that old person wasn't all bad. We enjoyed some of those moments. I enjoy being able to just be as no good, disrespectful sometimes, and just didn't really care about nobody but me. Hey man, I enjoyed that moment. Let's not kid ourselves. And you all
Well,
there listening, you enjoyed it too.
yeah.
You enjoyed it too. That's why the temptation is always there to pull you back. See, if you didn't enjoy it, there wouldn't be no temptation to pull you back. You wouldn't go back. We only go back to pleasure. We don't go back to pain. Come on, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I've talked
Larry.
too much, Vincent. Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
just
I'm sorry.
felt your energy. Go ahead on, Vincent.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and exit, man. I have to take care of the missus, So,
I understand,
she's
man. Well,
recovering
it
from
was
that
wonderful
surgery.
having you while we did.
Yeah.
Hey, read that.
Man. Good having you here.
I do want to read this last comment from Optimistic. She says, Transparency always opens the door for people to heal through experiences and lessons. Growth is letting go of flesh-driven comfort. Being comfortable will keep us stuck. And then she said, LOL, yes, water plus a little milk. Fletcher, you have it. Well, hey, gentlemen, y'all have a good night. Ladies, Optimistic, Ladiana, Selena, and those that'll be chiming in, thank y'all for just being here with us, and hope to see y'all next week. Y'all
All
have
right.
a good night.
All right, yeah, good night.
Thanks, Vincent. You
All
and
right,
your
brother.
wife take care, brother.
All right.
Yes, Fletcher, you want to add on to what I was saying, brother?
No, like you said about man, I enjoyed them things, man. I enjoyed some of the, we talk about fighting, man. I'll get there and start talking about them fights and what we had, the battles
Mm-hmm.
and the things that did. You right, it felt good. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
it. So again,
yeah.
that's what made it so hard to walk away. That made it
And
so
that will still make it hard, isn't
and,
it?
and the thing was, I was good at fighting too. I was good at it. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. I was good at it. I was good, and I was vicious with it. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that mentality that I had, but that I came up in, I'm not proud of it now. I wish that I'd choose, but you can't go back. But I'm glad that I overcame it. You know what I'm saying? But it took a lot of work. And I say, what gets me now, Xtradonaire, that I look at these kids now, that they're doing these things now. that they don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? You look at, back then we had the crack heroin, we had all these epidemics that we had to deal with, racism, the police, man, a lot of stuff going to jail. Man, we had a lot of stuff, drug, like, a lot of stuff was going on back then, man.
Right.
That's not going on now. And you see these kids, you know what I'm saying, these young men and ladies doing these things, you're like, why? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you try to understand. But you think back when I was, our parents said the same thing about our generation of why. But I just
But
know
look,
it's
here's
a
what
lot of
you
stuff
do.
happening.
But here's what you do now. This is what we do now. How often, though, brother, do you communicate with yours? Back in the old days, man, those brothers wouldn't communicate. You had to figure it out.
Oh yeah, and see that's what I'm saying. We had to figure it out, do as I say. But let me say this now. My brother came out the same household, totally different person. You know what I'm saying? Totally different way. Never dealt with the things that I dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say, I can blame it on this, blame it on that, you know what I'm saying? But he never took that route. But now again, I wouldn't let him go nowhere with me. I took a lot of hit for that. But he never took that route. He was a different person, you know what I'm saying? So I just like I said, I look back at it, I mean who I am and I had to go through. I just thank the Most High, he covered me, man, because I was so close to the edge. I was so close to the fire, you know what I'm saying, that many times I got scorched, but I made it through. But a lot of my things I say all the time, we talk, it was self-inflicted. It was self-inflicted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I put myself in situations that I used to think I had to. No, I didn't have to. I didn't have to be in those situations. I didn't have to get in that car. I didn't have to go to those places, because
Yep.
like when I would get in the military or go different places, I would go find a hood Xtradonaire. I'm going to the hood. Where the hood at? You know what I'm saying? Where the place, I'm going to put myself in that environment because I felt comfortable in that environment. I
Right.
felt comfortable in them clubs that was doing all that, the hole in the wall. I felt
Mhm.
comfortable. So now I know
Mhm.
what comes in that environment. Now I'm surprised when that stuff happened, So no, I was
Right.
comfortable. Like I said, a lot of stuff is comfortability and you having fun, and you know what I'm saying. But things that come with it now, so I wouldn't do those things now, and I stopped doing. I remember when I was in jail and I was talking to my mom, and I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm ready to listen to you, man. Tell me what to do. I'm tired of going through this. Tell me. And she said, No, no. I said, Mom, listen now. You've been fussing at me all these years. I'm ready to tell me what to do. She said, Listen. She said, Son, if I tell you what to do, I'm gonna have to be telling you for the rest of your life. And she said, I said, what? She said, it started like you don't like jail, you don't like this. She started naming all the stuff you don't like, I don't like. So right then I said, you know what? That means stop doing the things that I don't like. You might not know what to do. But you know
Mhm.
what not to do. Stop doing the things that's called, stop doing self-inflicted to yourself, harming to yourself. But I would tell anybody, stop doing the things that keep putting you in this situation. Start taking care of those things and start being changing with that. Work with that first. And then start pouring stuff into you. Start reading books, but work with that. And you know what? I'm not gonna do that no more. No, I'm not going over there no more. You know what? I'm not gonna argue with them. I'm gonna get up. I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that person. I'm gonna walk away. You know what I'm saying? Start doing those things that you don't like. That's causing that's being self-inflicted. That would happen with me. I didn't know what to do, but I knew what not to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was not to do those things that's causing me to keep getting in those situations.
Man, that is some good advice. And the thing is, too, being that we know each other as well as we do, and this conversation really extend and go beyond us because we don't like to just paint a perfect picture, friends, or just have you believing it's a nice, pretty little bow. No, it's not. Even though we ask or suggest, we say the thing is about life, the experimentation of living life is that I'm not sure if there's a secret because I know if I do left, I know that can of worm over there. But I don't understand when I do right. I know that's where the sunshine is. I need to be heading more in that way, and I'm heading more in that way. But because of the way I was brought up in my crazy mind, Fletcher,
Mhm.
it don't matter how far I head, right it towards the sunshine, friend. I still have that urge to want to go back in the mud. But just because you have an urge, here's where we get real. Just because you have an urge, it's just like the rain. Just because it's raining, like I said in one of my videos, you don't have to stand in it. You get out the rain. I love the rain, but I'm gonna get out the rain. I'm gonna stay dry. Just because we have the urge, you don't always have to go and get in the mud because you have an urge to be what you used to be, do what you want to do. That's the battle. That's the battle that we all have. It's two. We're living a life. It's a dichotomy, and it's a constant battle. So what I'm saying, we don't want to present to you that all of a sudden when you turn right, that's gonna be light. That's gonna be light. But trust me, gonna be some thunder and lightning along that way going right. Go ahead on, my brother.
Yeah, and you get to the place, man, like with me, I don't want to go to that left at all. I know I recognize it all now. You know what I'm saying? I lived long enough to know,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, that I already had angles that I could see wrong, but I was walking into the wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to steal. I knew it was danger, Roger. I knew, but I wanted to walk into the danger. You know what I'm saying? Now it's danger. I'm going the other way. I don't want nothing to do with it. I just sniff it. I'm going the other way because I got too much to lose. I got too much invested. I got too many people depending on me. You know what I'm saying? I got too many people that care about me and that I care about, even that seeing me. You know what I'm saying? They have, my wife would look at me and just put her, just she can get her like put her eyes down like disappointment. That's gonna tear me up. You know what I'm saying? My son looking at me, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I got too many people that depends on me. Too many people that love me don't want me to go that way. You know what I'm saying? So those things, and also the Most High is watching me. You know what I'm saying? That's the first one for sure I got to go through, but. That would help me. And then habits, principles. We start writing things down, what I wanted, goals that I want to get to. You know what I'm saying? So those things start reinforcing now. Those things was the key to lock the door. Like, that gate locked, you can't go back there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, so when that habit, that feeling came, or like you can hear a song, you know what I'm saying? You like, ooh, and then you're like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke all the time, those cigars and stuff. My partners, they be smoking their cigars like Fletcher. Man, come on. I say, boss, I can't smoke no more. Man, what? Hey, look, I don't do nothing small.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know me. I know what I'm saying? I got an addicted personality. I know myself now.
Yeah.
If I hit, I'm not going to drink. I can't just do 1, 2. So I just don't do it at all. I know myself. I have learned myself, so I can't do those things. You know what I'm saying? So those things are locked. The key is locked, and the key is put up. Some of them thrown away, but some of them still put up. You grab the key and you put it back on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? So, because like you say, they felt good. They feel it. It was emotions and all that tied into it. Other things were tied into that bad time too. So it felt good. And so, but you have control over now. I got too much to lose. Too much. Like back then when you're young, I say that, man. I thank the Most High that, man, I don't have to go through the things I went through when I was younger. I don't have the patience for it now. I say, man, if it ever happened to me, I don't know how anybody go through them stuff still today. Man, my nerves be too bad. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that, jumping, man. Just hear my kids say something to me, I'm like, oh, Lord. So I do those things like I did when I was young, you know what I'm saying? With that energy, I don't have the same energy in it either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You don't. It's true. As you drive down this road of life, you don't even allow. You see signals whereby that that would have been a trigger, but you just drive right on by it now.
Right by. Yeah, right by. Yeah.
Drive right by, man. I agree. I agree. And you know what else too, brother? We also learn in Word on Street community as you drive, when you decide to make that right turn, move forward in your life, you would learn to really celebrate your small win, whereby you was tempted to do something, but you didn't do it. Man, you got to give yourself, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, celebrate, yeah.
You got to feel real good about that.
Hey, let me tell you, I'm glad you said that, Xtradonaire, because that was with me. I had to start saying, man, pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
I was, man, the old me.
Yes.
Boy, I remember one time in the gym, I came on, told my wife, this guy did something, man. And the guy went off, and I just laughed. So I told my wife about it. I said, babe, I just let it go. She said, yeah, well, how did that feel? I say, now I picture myself just ripping him apart, but he just don't know. He have no idea how close his life was to me. I said, but I just smiled and apologized to him and walked out. But I felt good, like,
You
man,
feel good,
the old me,
yeah.
the old me
Yes.
was a man, you know what I'm saying? But I just looked at him and apologized to him. Man, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
You got smart after that, and I still walked away. So, yeah, man, I pat myself on the back for things like that, man.
Right.
You got to celebrate yourself.
You do, man. And you know what? The way I look at it, man, you know me and my metaphor, that was you watering the plant, bro.
Yeah.
Watering the plant.
Yeah.
Just and then making that, and then that dopamine gets fed it and it grows.
Yeah.
So you'll do that the next time. You know, you building that muscle up in that area of your life, in that part of your life.
So let me tell you this, John. I can't see, so I'm in the gym. This happened this week, Monday, and this guy, I'm on the machine. This guy come in there and say, "Hey, man, use the machine." I'm right there by the machine. My bag is by the machine, so I'm like, "Yeah, I'm using the machine." Well, I don't want to use it. I say, "Dude, really?" I say, "You don't see no other machines over there. You just come in, you know." Are you serious? You know, like in my mind, I'm saying, "Am I being? Is he trying to program? I'm being tested?" I'm like, let it go. I talk myself down. So about 30 minutes later, somebody else walked up to me. "Hey, man, using that machine?" I said, "Now wait a minute. Now I'm like, I'm telling myself, can I use it?" And I'm looking. And my son, Makai, he started laughing. I said, "Boy, you must stop playing with me." They come out, "That is me, Makai." I say, he's like, because I didn't know who, I couldn't see him, but he came messing with me talking about, but I said, "Boy, you about to make me drive you." I said, that was it. And right then, I was like, "Look, now I'm being tested too much. Hold up. I know this can't be happening twice with me." But I've been saying things like that in the past would have drove me, you know what I'm saying? It would have been a problem, you know what I'm saying? So those things right there, overcoming those things, man, is big with me, because I really truly believe, I'm going to say it like this. We think the world is so big. Let me say this to people too. That person that you got into that you offended, it will come right back full circle. And that'll be the person that you might need to get a job from. That'll be the person that you need. I'm telling you, be something, that person that came when you was down, they came and helped you up. It'd be that person that you thought that you had that altercation with, would be the person that would lift you or be there for you. Or you need. I'm telling you, it has happened to me so many times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
man, that's a good point. That's a very valid.
Oh man, be mindful of that. And so I really carry myself like this, Jordan, because I don't know who the Most High have me to meet. I don't have who the Most High need me that's gonna help me where I need to be, or give me what He want me to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I tell that story when I was going through counsel, and I got made it through, and I went to I was trying to refinance my house, and the guy didn't do it. And the old me went off. I cursed him out, called him out on his name. I'm serious, man. I talked to him bad, I felt he did me wrong. I felt embarrassed, So when I came out of my surgery months later, I was, getting my mind right. I'm talking to the Most High, and the Most High said, "Call that guy back and get him to do your thing and apologize." I said, "Call him back, man. That man don't want to." I called him back. I'm yelling myself. I called him back, and the guy, I said, "Hey, Jeff," he said, he knew instantly who I was. He said, "Mr. Fletcher?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Man, I never thought you would call me." I said, "Look, I thought I wouldn't. I just want to apologize to you. I'm so sorry for doing that, man." Talk to him, and I went through the process with him. And the crazy thing, I got a better refinance, a better interest rate, everything.
Wow.
And me and him friends to this day. Me and him are friends to this day. I just talked to him about 3 weeks ago about doing something on my show, and he was helping. Man, he helped me get my first. Helped me get me and my brother do our property. Both one of our properties. He been there taught me a lot about finances, real estate and brokers. He done showed me a lot of things, man. But that's what I'm saying, man. You never know who there that the Most High have for you. So be mindful of what you're doing, because you never know who you're gonna need or who that person would be. And I had to learn that, because, like, again, I say all the time, a lot of our problems are self-inflicted. A lot of our problems, our wounds, is what we cause, and I cause a lot. And you got to go back and fix those. You got to change and change it. And when you start changing and seeing, it's a better way. Now, the ways you start seeing them old ways, they're not comfortable no more. Now, them old ways look ugly. You're like, man, dang. You start hating them old ways, but you got to post up. That's when you get to that point, now you got to feed them old ways. You got to feed. You start pouring something into yourself. Now you start receiving things better. You start seeing things better. And other people start seeing it too. They're going to see it before you see it. They're going to see it before you see it. And that was with me, see it. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, but people will see it and they will hear me speaking, hear me ask, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. Now you start putting better people around you. You know what I'm saying? Now I know, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, I know what to run away from. I know what to walk away from. You know what I'm saying? That not align with where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So now I know myself, you know, that's what it is.
Man, that's a powerful lesson you just shared with us, because the truth is, friends, we don't really know who got the key to help to unlock that next door that we need open.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're not walking around having all the keys to the doors of our life,
Yeah.
and you don't know. And you may not ever find out if you want to hold on to that old person you were. You may not. Somebody out there may have the key to the door of your tomorrow.
Yeah.
Help you get to the next level. Help you get that home you want, that house you wanted, that car you wanted, that relationship out there say you wanted, that job you want. You don't know who got that key,
Yeah.
but you all in your way, holding on to your old way because that's just who I am. I've been this way.
So I don't like how they talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I felt they should have said I felt and see again, you don't know what it's coming from, what angle. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the Most High
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you don't know what I'm telling you, I worked at this one company, man, and I'm gonna tell you, I was so broken short there, and I thought every day they was out to get me. Every day I thought they were trying to fire me. And I remember we had a dinner, and my wife called me. We went with lunch, and they like, oh, the VP was like, who you on the phone with? I said, well, that's my wife. He said, oh, tell her to come out here with us. You know, I'm like, no, we don't come. We out to a nice restaurant. So my wife come sit down, eat with them, and all that. So when we get home, my wife say, are these the people that you say were trying to get you? And I'm like, and look, I'm still saying, see, you don't understand, baby. You don't see what I see. She's like, oh, baby, something wrong. You not seeing. These are not the people you've been telling me were trying to get you.
Yep. Yeah, because you was in your way. You was in your
my own way. I'm in my
Talk to
own
me.
way. My own ways,
Right.
own ways of thinking. You see what I'm saying
Right.
from there? I'm in my
Right.
own way of thinking, my own way of belief. That was in the way. It wasn't the people, it was me. You see what I'm saying? It was me couldn't move forward. It couldn't mean that it couldn't go beyond, because see the Most High, and I was uncomfortable around them. It was everything was too perfect. I'm talking about, it's all so perfect, and I'm like, this can't be true for me. You know what I'm saying? This is too easy. This can't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to self-destruct my own way of being. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's the old me don't want to change.
The old you was always doing things the hard and ugly and brutal way.
The hard way.
Come on, man. And there it is. I'm saying, come on, man, but I'm speaking to you all out there too.
Yep.
How many of you all out there living your life like that in your way? Stop negotiating with your old life.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about tonight. Fletcher, man, this has been a great show, brother. Enjoyed it. And if y'all out there, friends, make sure y'all subscribe to our channel. Help us talk it up. Help us move it up. Help us reach more people out there. We know that this message, man, we know this thing is connecting with you all out there who are tuning in and listening, because it's real.
Yeah.
We all get in our way. And we're trying to encourage you to remind you to get out your way. Because as we said, you don't know who holding the next key to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And you may get there eventually. You may get there in the next 10 years when you might have could have gotten there in the next 6 months.
Well said, Extradonaire. Well I'm saying that because that was me. You know, I look up. I'm serious right now. I look at you don't see it till it's too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say that was perfect, man. When you said that it took me so long to get past. I tell people that I say, man, where I'm at now, I should have been there 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
should have been there 15 years ago. I was in my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was stopping me from being it. This person that I am was waiting on me. But I
Yeah.
kept slowing down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The place where I'm at, the place that I dreamed of it was already there waiting on me, ready for me to get. But I'm the one was preventing myself
Yes.
from getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm the one was stopping myself from getting there. And because I didn't want to shed the old me. I didn't want to shed them old ways. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't want to be uncomfortable. We said all the time, we being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay in them bed of fleas, letting them bite me and complain. It's easy to complain and stuff and all that and say, yeah, so and so ain't like me. She said this, he said this about me.
Mhm.
They don't even matter.
Right. But we were used to that.
Yeah, he truly was, you know. And they not stopping. No one, and I realize no one can stop you but you. And we hear these things, and I like saying that, but when you start putting those principles and start believing them, you know, I'm talking about, I remember when and I know we got to go. I remember when I went to this job, and I was getting my life, and I said, you know, when I got hired, I said, you know, when I go to this job, I'm not getting with no group. I'm gonna be on work on time. I'm gonna sit to lunch by myself. I already had a position who I'm gonna talk to. That I want to be in management, so that's the people I'm gonna be around. I'm not about to be around gossiping. Who say he say. I'm gonna be, you know. And I made those points clear to myself. And I'm telling you, right back, the guy came from and said, the guy worked in his other department came and said, can you come talk to me? Took me in his office and said, man, I've been watching you. I heard good things about you. And I'm just saying, man, these things worked before. No, I had to be in everything. I was late to work out, and I'm blaming the company doing this. I'm always it was somebody, but it was always me in my ways of what I thought it should be, and I
Mhm.
was in my own way. So, and that old person was just sitting back smiling because that old person didn't want me to leave. That old person, I don't want, they don't want you to go.
Yeah.
And then we want to claim that devil did it. It ain't the devil. It's you. It ain't no devil. You're doing this to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's self-inflicted. And it just
Right.
they want to learn that and they want to pour that into you, man. And that's what it's about. And people come to you and they saying that and you're like, nah. And they
Mhm.
say some uncomfortable things to you that is true, but you came and did with no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it
Yeah.
right there. That part right there, your manager, you know, supervisor came and told you about yourself. Now you mad. Now you don't like this company. Now you don't. But if you please that the right way, that could have elevated you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? But you're in your own way. And we all do these things, man. We all
We all do it. We all guilty, huh?
get there. This way.
And look, I do want to go, man. We want to go, but something just came to mind, and I think it's necessary for me to
Go
say
ahead.
it so somebody it may help somebody out there. I know we want to do what we want to do. This to the believers out there, y'all, but you're believers, Bible thumpers. We want to do what we want to do, but when we're doing what we want to do and it don't work out, then we want to invoke God, Jesus, to everybody we meet. When
Yep.
God and Jesus ain't had nothing to do with us doing what we wanted to do to get
Nothing.
us in the mess we in.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say that. Hope it helps somebody out there.
Yep.
Hey man, great show, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Great show, man. Hey, Larry Popo, you know what I'm saying? My grandbaby.
All right, yeah, congrats. I knew that was a hand clap
Like,
necessary.
that's come there. That's for my baby, Larry Papa. That's my baby Larry. You know, so Papa. So that's my baby there. So
Yes, and
my first grandbaby right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my first.
first,
Many more to come, I guess. You know, yeah, this is my first.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
all right, brother. And to Selena and Ladiana, optimistic. Thank you all for being there for us,
yeah. Thank
supporting
y'all.
us.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all so very much. We're going to get in the car and we're going to drive out of here. But we hope that somebody out there decided to subscribe,
Decided to like, yes.
decided to like, and
And I
decided.
hope we help each one. We help someone get through, man, through something, man, to help them move out their way. Because I'm telling you, man, really, and I'm sorry, Xtradonaire,
No, that's great.
I'm saying moving forward for real, man. A lot of these wounds, I talk about finances all the time. I'll tell you, I did 4 pillars: spiritual, physical, mental, and financial. You know what I'm saying? And that we have so much struggle with finances. And I know people try to say money ain't important, but we have that thing is hard with all of us. But a lot of these things are self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? It's self-inflicted wounds. And it be the small, little tedious things that get us. You know what I'm saying? And what we talk about now, our behaviors and our beliefs, those things are hurting us too. So we got to deal with that, not add money to it. Boy, a whole lot of problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we trying to work through. You know what I'm saying? And now add a wife, kids, man, we got a whole. So forgive yourself. Again, like Trey said, we talked about forgive yourself. Put in the past, dig a hole, put all that stuff in the hole, and let's go forward. That's it. That's it.
Thank y'all, everybody.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again. Same time, same place. Right here on World Premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.